What's goody, everybody? It's full-time trip, man. We back in the building. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. I'm upset, and I don't have $50,000 on the check or whatever Drake was saying, bro. I'm mad right now. Timo was in the building with us. What's going on, dog? You see that? You see that? He didn't even say hi. He didn't say nothing. He said, The Idris Elba.
Listen, man. Like, bro, look, birthday tomorrow. You know, game today. You have high hopes. You have even higher hopes based on like how the game even started and the direction the game was going in, and just knowing that quality across the pitch. Like, we had the game where we needed the game to be, and you know, true to its nature, we are then, you know, left with injuries. Now, those injuries, where they came and whatever, I don't think they necessarily shook the performance off, like to the point where there was like a complete deficiency of chance creation or defensive solidarity and stuff like that. I know we can always talk about those things, but like, bro, like I can excuse both Liverpool and Arsenal in the sense where like the common denominator here is just poor officiating. I don't know how many times we have to talk about this. Like, it is every goddamn week. Every week. Like, I've had to tweet. Like, normally I don't tweet when it comes to bad refereeing calls because I know what it is. It happens, right? But bro's not even blown. It doesn't even look like he's blown his whistle. The defensive player in the Liverpool defensive player who's trying to get like win the ball in the air, he's tried to jump, has not won it. He's not even complained. The attacking player that's won the ball for Arsenal has won it cleanly. Havertz is in on goal, and we're now sat here, but it's a 2-2 draw. Like, I don't quite understand how. I think everybody that looks at that replay will tell you that there is no foul. Liverpool fans will tell you that's not a foul.
I'm just
yeah. Bro,
I'm gonna try and go ahead.
I just had to tweet. Like, I just can't understand. I cannot understand how that is a foul in any way, shape, or form. Firstly, and secondly, it's like I'm giving Prem refs a pass every week. I'm tired of giving them passes, bro.
When's it gonna stop, bro?
They're all bums.
When's it gonna stop?
Until all of them get it right, they're all bums. I'm sorry. I'm not refraining from that comment. They are all bums.
They have been since the dawn of the Premier League, and it's only been worse as we've gone along. You give them more tools, and these bumbling idiots don't know how to properly apply them or use them in any sense of the word. Funny enough that we had that Champions League game in the midweek, and there was no mention of the referee. There was barely any. Honestly, I didn't even know there was one there. To be real, everything was just fair. Everything had context. Everything made sense. And there was no need for the referee to be a hero. There was no enough referee for the need to be a diva or a main character or anything like that. It was just there. And you come back to the Premier League and look, decision after decision after decision after decision after decision after decision that impacts games. For 1 second, I'm not even going to talk about our game today. Let's talk about Man United really quickly. Again, they lost. Y'all suck. But y'all shouldn't have even been in that position to lose. That penalty call was farcical. It was stupid. There's no way in hell that should have been a penalty. But again, because it's us, people are gonna say, oh man, yeah, look how you guys, you know what I'm saying, you guys kind of folded at the end, blah, 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 whatever. But then they see these pen shouts, left, right, center, blah, 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 and they'll say, oh yeah, no, it's just these guys complaining and crying again. But when it happens to your club, when it happens to you, you're gonna cry wolf all the time, bro. I feel like giving up at this point of even trying to be equivalent about this, bro. If y'all lose it, it's on y'all, because there seems to be no consistency with y'all. There's no consistency with PGMOL, and there's no consistency with all of you people. All y'all out there trying to watch this and see that we're crying, and then we see your decisions that y'all should be crying over, and y'all are, but then y'all turn around and say, oh yeah, nothing happened to you guys. You guys will be fine. When the same things happened. The same things happened. The Van de Ven yellow card today, another example. Why is he not sent off for the same thing in a worse position than Saliba was? I don't even want to be here talking about refs. I want to talk about this game, but it's all going to circumvent. Even if I go to the game, I'm going to end up talking about these refs. Watch how I go. Let's talk about the game. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I didn't even say it all that. But listen, let's talk about the game really quickly. Again, not our optimal lineup. No Odegaard. Saliba suspended. We had a surprise. Saka is back. Timber is back. But there were obviously some adjustments. Calafiore's out as well. Not our best 11, obviously, but we're coming out the blocks. We're fighting. Great ball over the top to open up scoring from Ben White. Saka near post finish back like he never left. Was absolutely having his way with Robertson in the first half. Us having a really, really good opening first half. I'd say first 40-50 minutes until things started to maybe shift and turn and the performances of the second half took over. But Timo, speak to me real quick about what you saw, some standouts from that great period that we were on top and again in that first half.
I mean straight out the blocks, I'd say that I think it's easy to talk about the goal and the performance leading up to the goal, but I think defensively there were going to be questions asked based on fitness and availability. Partey, without a doubt, one of the best players on the pitch, and able to kind of shut down Diaz quite well. Operated well in the half space in terms of working well with Ben White on that side, and obviously being able to distribute passes into Saka that obviously led to the goal. I'd also like to say Declan Rice played very, very well in that opening 45 minutes. Readily available, retrieving balls, snuffing out chances, driving with the ball as we know and what we like to see, but also being available and knitting passes as well, and especially the deliveries into the box. Like we spoke about it, and I'd seen 2 already, and I was like, bro, we are going to score the third one. The first 2 I initially thought they have to be goals, but when I seen the consistency of the delivery of the balls into the box, I said, yeah, the next one's going in, and lo and behold, it actually happened as we said it. So I'd say standout performance for me in the first half were definitely White, Partey and Rice, and then obviously Saka just does what he does. It's showbiz, you know what I'm saying? It's franchise player, does what he needs to do, gets the ball in the back of the net, chops Robertson a new one, and we're 1-0 up. And then Marino, I even forgot to mention Marino with the way that he played in the first half as well. Like, that's another honorable mention as well. Played really well. I'd say that those were our stand-up players.
I agree. Obviously, the mentioned Starboy, Bukayo Saka was absolutely just doing numbers. We missed him so much. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much we missed him. It's just vital to what we do, how we manufacture transitions, the threat that we carry. 1 player, 2 player, it doesn't matter, connection, and the fact that he has so much more license to enter central areas created so many problems for Liverpool. They couldn't cope with us, bro. Let's call spade a spade. All conditions fair, no injuries or whatever. They could not cope with what we were doing today. They could not. The connections, the play, the strength, the absolute solidity, again, the careful placement. One thing I know I told Timo before, in the middle of the game, I think at the halftime, one thing I really enjoyed was how deliberate the passes into central spaces and cutting through their press and cutting through the front of their structure, their 4 players across the front trying to press us. The fact that we cut through that so consistently and open up so many opportunities was top class. That felt like 2022-23 a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. Held on to the ball a little bit more, found these spaces into these central areas and started to pick up play a little bit more. It wasn't as fast, but still that intention of cutting through to get to the touch lines and find solutions from there. That was top class play. Again, Saka was again real big part of it. Everybody did play their part. I thought, I pretty much agree with you on the standouts from the game. Just wonderful stuff. Unfortunate to concede a set piece in that way. Again, was it Van Dijk? Van Dijk had a flick on and stuff like there. But again, it's that one set piece. That was the only thing. That and the one slip that Marino had off and a wild Salah shot. That were about the only chances they had the entirety of that first half, and honestly for most of the game. Those are among the top 5 best looks probably that they had in that entire game. You want to look to the second half as well. Unfortunately, we have injuries and fatigue that comes into play. Gabriel goes down after a tweak, I think a push from what's it called, Darwin Nunez in the back, and then something tweaks as he's going down and he's not able to continue, so we have to switch and get Kiwior. Kiwior was comfortable in left center back position when it goes to defending in a block, but when we were in more man's positions and the transition was happening, miscalculations just unfortunately got the better of him, and people had to compensate, and again Salah gets the best of that and equalizes for 2-2 later on in that match. And again at that point Timber's off as well due to fatigue. Miles Skelly came on, and again just a tough situation to jump into with Salah being one of the targets you have to defend against, and it's rough, man. It's rough. I think even though we had those defensive switches and a bit more fragile and less developed back line in terms of the connections and the experience and the runtime, I still thought we were getting at them. I still thought we were escaping their press very well. I still thought we were getting into their box and finding solutions. This narrative that, oh, they folded, they started to look like 10 men towards the end of the game. We suffered in a couple of periods. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yes, we did, but the way we broke out, the way we found solutions and got ahead of the ball to get into these positions at the end of the game, not even the extra time part, the loft over to Jesus that got blocked by Curtis Jones. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple other chances there from the left-hand side that went through. I thought we had very, very good looks. So people saying we play like 10 men towards the end of the game, you're smoking dust. I don't know what's up with you, gang. What game were you seeing? Because you were finding it out, and we're doing that on top of the fact that we don't have the optimal personnel to cover our distances in transitions, Saliba and Gabriel, and try and mitigate the runs of Salah and other people. If those two were in today, maybe it's a different story. I can't speak on that because a lot of y'all gonna try and throw it out the window too, but whatever, call a spade a spade. We still played well despite that, but again, as close as we get to these things, bro. Before I get back to these refs, because I'm gonna cuss out these refs again. Give it a second. What would you say were some things that disappointed you about the second half performance today? If you can be as critical as possible about our performance.
All right, cool. Look, you don't have to scroll through the timeline to kind of see the sort of stuff that's being said about Martinelli's performance. Look, I think there are always going to be people that are on the fence about Martinelli because they feel like in the summer we could have gone and grabbed another left winger that would have ideally been ideal to challenge him a bit more or effectively to take his place. Like, you're going to find people that are going to say like the high end of things and more so the low end in terms of support. I think honestly, like there's a part of me that's like, I love Martinelli to bits and I want him to perform and I want him to be able to do what we know he can do. And I think confidence can only go from strength to strength. I think he personally will look at that performance and feel like he could have killed off the game. And it's not to say that I didn't see him find. It's not like I saw him find himself in positions where he's in the box and it's a matter of just finishing. It's the initial 1v1. Like we'd seen over the earlier minutes of the game, he had Trent on toast, and Trent was not doing anything with the ball
at all.
Obviously, in terms of running in behind and trying to beat the likes of Konate, it's just a matter of being a bit more, erratic and trying to find a way in which, you can destabilize either his footing or something in a way in which, you're causing more problems than you'd normally do. And I think over time it will come. I don't want to say that I don't want to ridicule him the way he's getting ridiculed.
Nah, I don't.
But I still think even with the sort of performance he had, there was avenue to win that game. I think where the game was lost could potentially be down to the injuries that we had, but I think where we're going to go next in regards to the referee, and that's going to have a huge impetus in where the game could have been and where it should have been, where it hadn't. But,
100.
Hey man,
yeah.
But I would say I don't think, even with the injuries, I feel like we were playing the right sort of ball. Miles Skelly played a few forward passes. I really like that from him, and seemed to be very composed on the ball and dealt well with the pressure of being put in some very interesting passing situations where he held ground.
Not worried about him on the ball.
Kiwior again, who a lot of people have come in and said, look, he's just like, he's not the quality that we need, etc. I get that, but covering for centre back in a sense where we've just had the injury we've had, not letting balls get into the box as frequently. Obviously, very unlucky with the pass, the counter attack from Liverpool to score their second goal. But yeah, I'd say, like, look, I think where people are coming at us with the whole 10 men mentality, and whoever said it, I don't know if it's who has said it. That I
started with Ian, right? And I'm seeing a bunch of people start to co-opt that bullshit, man.
If that's being said, look, I think you got to look at the fact that if your team has lost 2 key players to injury,
not just 2. Let me show you the tweet from Sam Dean.
I'm just talking about this game.
The
game.
I want to give them the full context real quick before you even go in. Let's talk about that, because according to this tweet right here, just get double check. We're down to their third choice right back, second choice right center back, third choice left center back, and probably fourth choice left back. We don't have Saliba, Gabriel at that point. Timber's gone. Calafiori's gone. Tomiyasu nowhere to be found. So,
and we're in October, by the way.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not like we're in January, February, where there's like almost 2/3 of the season gone. We're still in the first quarter of the season. So this idea that we're playing with 10-man mentality, what do you expect? Not in the sense of what do you expect,
and it's not even what do you expect. Yeah, it's
what
like what can we do when we're a little bit more bit more defensively inward because we don't have our best pressers and covers of space. Right. What are you, you idiot? Like, what are you talking about? You're stupid. Yeah. You're stupid.
Yeah. You are. I mean, you gotta look at, you just look at it playing on paper, like, bro, okay, so you already don't have your primary outlet in terms of creativity with Odegaard. Okay, fine, you found a way to kind of mitigate that. It didn't work well without Saka, so then you have him back and all of a sudden you play well. No shit, Sherlock. Okay, he goes off the pitch. He's had to be rested. We have to find another way to make it work. Great, another one. Okay, Gabriel, definitely not somebody that's not been readily available. He's literally played almost every game over the last 3 or 4 years for us. All of a sudden he goes injured and you're going to tell me, oh yeah, no, it definitely looks like we're playing down with 10 men. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Like, you serious?
Timber's literally played his first game in about 3 weeks and he's pulled up twice. Of course he has to go off. So then if you're going to sit there and tell me, yeah, look like Arteta went very defensive in the second half, I'm not going to lie to you. It's the welfare of the players. The players need to be put first. I get that we're trying to get a result, but at the end of the day, those players have not played a lot of football. And then, oh man, listen. I can go back and forth.
Shout out Sarah's son. She said the most apt quote I've ever heard, bro. It's like roughly speaking it, because I don't remember it all the way off the top of my head. Shout out to Sarah Gwynn Rep. But she was like, listen, when it comes to Arsenal, people just lose all sense when talking about us. They lose all sense, all context, all ability. This is a prime example. I'm looking at a tweet right now in my face, a quote directly from Roy Keane's stupid ass. He said Arsenal weren't missing any of their starting players. Thank you for this quote from AFC DW. Shout out Dan. He said we ended the game without Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Odegaard, Saka, and Martinelli. And Martinelli was the only one, you know, that had a full start, that had full training and stuff like that throughout the week out of that bunch. What are you talking about? And we still outplayed Liverpool for most of that game. Listen, if we're outplaying Liverpool and the only thing that's really going against is close decisions, and the fact that we're down tools and down literally half of our defensive unit. Come on, guys, come on. I get it. You hate us. I get it. But you just look stupid because saying this to us. You look stupid. It's wild, bro. It's wild, man. I'm saying, like, what can you do? I'm looking at this decision again, bro. Goes in on a 50-50, a shoulder barge. This guy falls over. Where is this foul called? He falls over on himself. Dog, oh gosh, Timo, I just don't even understand. I don't even understand. I do, but I don't want to understand how incompetent these refs are, how obtuse the media and these rival fans are, and how fearful some of these Arsenal fans are to call a spade a spade. Say this, bro. We're seeing this bullshit in front of our eyes. We're seeing it in front of our eyes. Like, what? Where is it? Let me be frank. We have played, 9 games so far this season? 9? Is that correct, Timo? In the Premier League?
Yep.
How half of those games, the headline has been a referee's decision? Only one of them is a debatable, you know what, fine, give the red. But you didn't give a red anywhere else for it, and that's Saliba's red card. Everything else, farcical. I don't care. Everything else, farcical. If half of those games end in decisions or have the main headline of decisions that go against us, how many times are we gonna get beat over the head with a stick until we say, hey, yo, this is hurting us? You want us to sit here and say, oh yeah, no, the game's the game. Just play the game how it's supposed to be played. And everything, and in lesser spurts, it's happening to the rest of you dummies. The rest of you dummies in the Premier League, all you other rival fans. It's happened to Man United today, happened to a bunch of other people today. Where games could have gone a lot smoother if the decisions were implemented with some correct sense. But no, when it's Arsenal, it doesn't matter. It's crazy. It's funny. We outplayed Liverpool today with a shot squad. That's the beginning and end of it here. And the fact that we're still shagged and still points behind City and points behind Liverpool in this situation, I have to point to the one thing that has been consistently holding us back this season. Listen, I don't know, man. I don't feel dumb. Timo, do you feel dumb? Do you feel dumb?
Nope, I'm no beautiful, bro. I am no beautiful.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But listen, I will say this. I'm gonna say this before we go. Before we get out of here, in terms of performances, real quick, in terms of criticism, I'll answer my own question I gave to you earlier. I thought the left-hand side could have been better, specifically Martinelli with the touches. Again, him getting into positions was fine, but there were certain breaks that caused like just the stoppages, like the balls behind him, and like Konate played a hell of a game, but still I thought there was room to get at him and Trent, and just some of the balls in transition where he could have controlled it with 1 foot, or just it was a little bit behind him. The timing and the composure there needs to be better. Again, it just wasn't on today in those respects, and especially when we needed it to. I know he wasn't relied upon the entire time, but the ball sticking to Havertz in transition, it got a little bit better towards the end, but not to the place where I wanted it to be. So I wanted some improvement there. That was not his best game against the Big Six. I wanted some improvement on that side. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough in these games where we outplayed people consistently in suboptimal conditions, and all it takes is, you know what I'm saying, one miscalculation or one misjudgment from a ball over the top, and Salah's in for a goal. You know what I mean? Like, it just, the Premier League is ruthless. On top of that, the Premier League is obtuse. The Premier League is so obtuse. They will be, if you are on the losing end of the stick, people will be prepared to omit every other variable and contextual piece of evidence that shows how you got there, whether it be unlucky, unfortunate, or your own doing. They'll only show the fact that, hey, you lost, and there's nothing else to talk about that may be a larger arc of the season that has contributed to you losing. That's it. And you wonder why the people who are much worse off in much worse conditions will not get better. And the same people who don't have to deal with any of these things and get the benefit of the doubt 95% of the time, City, are just cruising. They don't need to do anything. Like, it's funny. It's just so sad, bro. It's so sad. I don't even want to, like, I'm disgusted. And we have to sit here and go again against another team, potentially without Gabriel, in such an annoying place where I know there's going to be BS in that game. Newcastle I'm talking about. And then after that, we got to go to Chelsea. I told people at the beginning of the season, November, Christmas, and April, I think, were the three most important parts of the Premier League season for us because of these fixtures. As much as we try and do our best, if we're still held back at the neck, goozled at the neck by PGMOL with these little things they do that pile up, what can we even do? If the PGMOL are fit to be themselves, main characters, or characters that overarch the actual sanctity and integrity of football in general, what can we do? You know, what can we do?
I mean, exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, I said, I've just tweeted again, like, look, like, I feel like Martinelli slander is louder than the actual officiating of Arsenal's games. I get it. Like, I get it more than anybody, that when you have a player as high in potential or as promising as what he's able to offer, like, those are players that go for 90 to 100 mil, right? And where they're able to be quite vindictive or quite quite assured in their finishing, yes, we don't have that with Martinelli. To say that it will never happen is one thing, or to say that it will happen is another. I think the biggest problem here is, no matter how much slander you give him, that doesn't change the officiating that we've had to deal with this season. Like, I just don't get it. Like, yes, okay, we don't win a game, fine. Why do we not win the game? If we're looking at Martinelli's performance, I wouldn't say it was the worst performance on the planet. I do believe he has to improve. That is completely fine. But to then be louder in slander of him, rather than looking at what's actually happened and how poor the officiating is, I'm sorry. Like, no matter what, like, a player could have a 5 out of 5 star performance and the officiating's still bad.
Since the days of Mike Riley, these guys have not gotten better. They've gotten worse. Penalty in the box first half. Konate didn't get any of the ball, went right through, and Trent was on the other side of Martinelli.
Yep, nothing given.
Goal disallowed at the end of the game. Again, the Havertz situation where there's 50-50 shoulders to shoulders, and there's no room to call back a foul for any of this stupid ass phantom foul. 7 fouls from Diaz, no booking whatsoever. Pullbacks, delays of game, all that, nothing. Van Dijk stamps and kicks back at Havertz in the first 15 minutes of the game. Not a single card in sight. No VAR review, no check for dangerous play, none of that. None of that stuff. How many 50-50s and shoulder barges and challenges that went through in the second half, almost entirely given to Liverpool, but when we commit a foul, it's moot. It's nothing. It's automatically Liverpool's ball. We're playing too hard, but when they barge into us, push us over, it's too soft. And to top it all off, the only call that got a forensic check, a forensic scan, like CSI Miami, Los Angeles, whatever, you know what I'm saying? The SVU victims unit from Law and Order, they brought all of them in to analyze a potential offside goal for the second that was clearly on from Mika Moreno, go ahead goal. That was the only thing that was forensically analyzed today. Is that not funny? Is that not funny? Bro, I know what you are. PGMOL, refs, rival fans, I know what you are. I know what you are. It takes all of that. It takes all of that. And injuries on top of our squad. Injuries on top of injuries that we suffered in this game to get a point off of us. To get any points off of us. I know what you are. Kratos FC, boy. Kratos FC. Us versus the Pantheon. That's how it's always been. I'm about to go record these other scripts and go play Blackouts, man. If y'all have something to say, make sure y'all say it in the comment section below. Timo, appreciate you as always, gang. Make sure y'all go say happy birthday to Timo in the comments, man. Make sure y'all go say happy birthday to Timo, for real, man.
Thanks, bro.
And yeah, with that being said, we gonna get up out of here. Much love to y'all. We still got game to play, still got season to go through. Stick through it, man. Stick through it. Arsenal fans, stand 10 toes down. Don't back down for nobody, bro. You know what time it is. COYG. Peace.
Peace.